Okay, welcome back. I'm going to start on the top of page EX9. We're going to start entering text, numbers, and dates into our Excel worksheet. So if you haven't already done so, go ahead and open up a blank workbook and make sure that you're under tab sheet 1. And you can see that I am in the active cell for me right now is A1. Which the first instruction here says press the control plus home keys to make A1 the active cell. We're going to type in here Rip City Digital Customer Order, and I'll do it real fast. Rip Now I want you to look at the top up here. As I was typing here in A1, you'll have to notice that up here in the formula bar, it was also typing what I was typing in A1 because that is the active cell. It's important to know that you're going to see it in both spots. Okay, and it says go ahead and press enter twice, and what entering twice is going to do is it's going to return my active cell down to A3. So I'm pressing 1 to A2 and then twice to A3. A couple things I want to point out real fast. Notice how in A1 it looks like Rip City Digital Customer Orders goes all the way over into D1. It's important to know that it really only is in A1. Let me show you what I mean by that. If I go back up to A1, here's my Rip City Digital Customer Order in the formula bar. If I click on B1, notice how there's nothing here because technically there's nothing in B1. Okay, until I do something with B1, you'll see Rip City Digital Customers Order as if it looks like it's going all the way over to D1, but it's not. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go to B1. Don't do this, but just watch me do it. I'm in B1. B1 is my active cell, and I'm going to just type test in here. Okay, now notice when I press return, watch what happens to what appears to be in C1 and D1. I press enter, and now what was in C1 and D1 here is now gone, because once I put something in B1, it truncates what was in A1. What's in A1 is still Rip City Digital Customer Order, but it's not going to show up anymore here because I've actually put something into B1. So don't get confused. Don't think that, well, where'd the rest of it go? It's still there. But because I put something in B1, now it's only going to show exactly what it can show. We're going to look at column widths here in a minute, but just understand that that's what I was doing. So I'm going to clear out what was in B1. And again, notice how it didn't put that back in because it thinks that there's something in B1. But if I go in here and I go to my undo arrow, undo typing, I'm going to click it one time and it undid the erase that I did. Now I'm going to do it again, and now I'm back to where I was before. This undo here, this is an amazing tool. For those of you who have used it before, this is something that's really, really nice to have, because if you make a mistake 3 or 4 enters into this particular spreadsheet, all you have to do is click that in a certain amount of times and you get back to where you were as far back as you want to get. So I'll go back down to A3, and it says type author, A-U-T-H-O-R, okay? And then it says tab key to go over to B3, okay? Type in your name. Of course, you'd be typing in your name as in your physical name, but I'm going to do what the instructions say to do because I'm kind of being I'm just trying to make this humorous. Your name. And then what I'll do, let's see, type in your name, and then active cell down to A4. So I pressed return and it went down to A4. Type in date, D-A-T-E. Let me stop here for a second. I realized that I forgot to tell you something. You'll notice in the beige box, it'll say something like in number 1, press the control plus home key. All right, the control plus home key is in bold. That's something you would do. When you get to step 2, type Rip City, and you'll notice that Rip City Digital Customer Orders is bolded. That's what you're going to type. you'll press enter. You don't type that, you just press it, you just enter it. But if you see it in bold, that means that you either have to make some kind of type in something that I want you to type in, or make some kind of a keystroke. Okay, we're going to go over, let's see, go over to B4, which is right there. And it says, I'm going to leave that blank. We're going to click on A5, right below date. Okay, we're going to type in purpose. And then we're going to press the tab key, and it says type in to record Okay, so that's what it wants me to do. Now I'm at the bottom of page EX9. It should look just like this. Shouldn't look any different than that. I'm going to go over to EX10. The next beige box talks about all the addresses it wants me to type. Now I'm not going to take the time to type all these in there, but I am going to show you to do one of them because it's really important, especially when we get to the address piece, what you have to do. Okay. It wants me to go to sheet 2, so I'm going to come down here. I'm going to make sure you all can see that it's sheet 2. I'm going to click on sheet 2. You'll enter the column labels in cells A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, F1. Last name will be in A1. First name will be in B1. So you just watch what I do here. Last, tab over into B1, first name, go to C1, and I'm going to type, this is going to be address. Tab over, date, tab over, DVDs, tab over, price per DVD. Okay, so I've got mine all the way over to F1. Okay, type last in A1. You can see that's what we've done all those things already. You're done with 1 through 7 of that particular beige box. In A2, it wants me to type in the information that's above the beige box in figure 1-5, the customer orders. I'm just going to do the first one. Dawes, tab over, Gregory, tab key. Okay. And now I'm into the address site. If you'll notice where it says address, it's a 2-line address. When I normally teach Excel, I show this particular concept just like it shows in the book, and when I get the homework uploaded to me, for some reason half the students still miss this particular thing. I just realized I have an incorrect spelled word. Oh, this is good. I've misspelled address. Okay, now I can go in here and just type in address again, and it would overwrite what's in there. Or if I wanted to make a correction to this particular word or whatever's in this cell, I don't have to retype the whole thing. I can actually click up in here in the formula bar, and notice how C1 is still my active cell. My cursor is actually right next to the S. So that means that I can edit what's in this particular formula bar. So all I have to do is add another S and press return. I don't have to retype the whole thing. I can go in here and say if I want to go dates, I can add the S. I'm not going to do that, but now that I'm in here, I'm going to go back up and take that S out by doing my backspace. Okay, that's going to be important to understand because part of this this worksheet we do is going to have us actually alter what one of our titles looks like. Okay, I'm going to run through this real fast. We're at the bottom of page EX11. To enter multiple lines of text within a cell. Let me run through this real fast. Okay, I've got 402 Elm Street, and they want me to hyphenate street, just like it shows. Do not press the tab or enter key. Instead, you'll insert a new break line. Okay, so what I'm going to do is it says here, hold down the Alt key and press enter. Okay, now it looks like it's kind of weird because all of a sudden in my active cell of C2 it appears to be gone, but it's not. My active cell is still C2. I'm typing something in the bottom of C2. It looks like it's missing, but it's not. It's there. Let me show you how to look for that. Move your cursor all the way over here to this side. You'll see these two arrows. You have an up and down arrow, then you have a expand arrow, expand formula bar. Click that arrow one time, left click with your mouse, and notice how my formula bar has just become deeper. And you'll notice that in C2, my active cell, the top line does show 402 Elm Street. My cursor is actually below the 4, like it shows here on the screen. And I'm going to enter Merrill, comma, MI 48637. Okay, and then I'm going to press the tab key. Now watch what happens. The minute I press the tab key, it said, hey, you got multiple lines in here. The column width isn't big enough for me to show it the way you want to, but for right now, this is what we're looking for. Okay, we want this to look like that in the formula bar. Here's the key that I want to show you. I'm going to undo that. Oops, I didn't want to do it all the way. Let me go back. I press my redo. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away the alt that I did. So let me go back. I'm going to take this away. Remember how I entered my Elm, and I'm going to get rid of this and show you the way that most people see it. Okay. So if I were to do this, if I were to be here, 402 Elm Street, some people think that in order to get it to look like it is on page 10, with the address on the top and then the city, state, zip on the bottom, all they have to do is get cute and put a couple of spaces in here in our formula bar. Notice I'm pressing my space key and it goes all the way across. And then I'm going to type Merrill, MI 48637, and press enter. Okay, it looks like it did the same thing. Okay. But what I'm going to do when I grade your papers is I'm actually going to go into this cell, into C2, and if I see this, that is wrong. That is incorrect. It should look like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and move this back over, and at this point I'm going to press Alt-Enter, and now we're going to go back to where we were a minute ago. I press down and I expand my formula bar, and that's what it should look like. So when I grade your papers, I'm going to go here. Gregory, looks good. I'm going to go to C2. If it doesn't look like this, then it's incorrect. So that's kind of important. Okay, so we're 13 minutes into this. What I want you to do is go ahead and finish typing in those customer orders, all the names and all the information that's on there in figure 1-5. When we come back, we'll continue as we go along at the bottom of page 12.